Hey guys, so today we're gonna talk about type checking with React. JavaScript, as we know, is very flexible when it comes to type. And since React is a JavaScript framework, it's also very flexible. So if you have a project where you wanna make sure that you have less bugs, at least related to types, you wanna use some sort of type checking, right? And there are multiple options available in React. Very first option is simply using a third-party package called PropTypes, and there are other options like using Flow, and also you can use TypeScript, which a lot of people use with Angular. So, but today's tutorial we're going to talk about PropTypes, and in subsequent tutorials we're going to look at Flow and TypeScript. Welcome to techsith tutorials. Hey guys, so I've created a project here using Create React App. So this is what we're gonna work. In an older version of React, we used to have PropTypes as part of the package, but ever since React 16, they have removed it and made it a separate package. So if you wanna use it, we have to download it and import it. Okay, so let's download it first. So from your command line, I'm gonna say npm install -- save and prop-types. All right, so it's been installed. If I go to my package.json, I should see here an entry of prop types, which is 15.6.1. So the first thing we're gonna do is import it here. So I can say import prop types from prop types. All right, so we have it to use, but we haven't created anything inside here yet. So as the word says, prop types, it actually checks properties that you pass into a component to check their types. Okay, so we need to create a component and we can pass some properties and then we can validate its types to make sure that it's what we expect it to be. So I'm gonna create a component here. Const, I'm gonna call it test equal to, and it's empty right now and we can use it here. And let's pass some properties. So I'm gonna pass some string here equal to, and I'm gonna call it techsith. All right, and here in the component we can have props, and we can return, let's do it, some h1 tag, and we can print that. We can say props.str. Okay, now if I compile the project, npm start, all right, we can see the techsith here. Now let's figure out how to check the types. Okay, so for that, what we have to do is we can take this component test and we can say prop types equal to, and for each property that we're passing in, we need to define their types, that what type we're expecting it to be. So here we have already have a property called string, right? And we expect it to be string, right? But we can't use it like this. We need to do this. We have to say prop types dot string. Okay. So now, if I run this, everything is fine because I'm supplying a string and I'm expecting string, so it should work. But what if I had simply changed this to Boolean? Now I'm supplying string and expecting Boolean. So now it fails and it says type string supplied to test expected Boolean. So this is how it actually catches, gives you a warning. So now let's put it back to string so we don't get this error. Now let's actually pass a Boolean, bool. And for Boolean, we can do like this, true, but we can simply do this as well. This means true as well. Well, let's wrap the entire thing with a div, otherwise it would complain. And here I can also pass the boolean here, but if I pass the boolean, then it would not really display anything because it's a boolean. If it's true, then print bool, else print no bool. So it's bool, and I can actually now say that bool's property is actually PropTypes is actually bool. Okay. Oh, I should say capital P here. All right, so no errors. What if I have a type that I know it could be number or string, but it's not a boolean? What if we have that kind of situation, right? So I can say, let's say string or number. Okay, so this is string or number. So if I pass 10, it should pass. But if I do, let's say true, it should false. It should fail, right? So let's try to print it here. Props dot string or num. Okay, and here in the type we can say string or num is type. Always use PropTypes first, and we can say one of the types. All right, and inside we need to actually provide an array. So which one do we want to accept? So I know that I want to accept PropTypes dot string, and I also want to accept PropTypes dot number. So now it's giving me a, remember we actually provided it with true, which is neither string or a number. Okay, so this is how you can do it. Now let's fix it and say, what if we have an array? So I'm just gonna say array equal to, and I want a specifically number array. Okay. So here, to print an array, I have to basically use a map function. Array dot map, and inside I can have a function which basically has some val, and I can do, let's use li tag, and well, but this should actually create a little bit of a problem. Let's look at it why. All right, it should create a problem because we haven't provided any keys yet. Remember, any list you have to have keys, so we have to have key property, which I'm just gonna keep it val for now because they're unique values, so it should satisfy and the error should go away, but you should never use the value as a key. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3 here. Now let's do prop types for this array. So I have an array, and so it should be PropTypes dot array of PropTypes dot number. Okay, it's very simple. What if I have an array of actually objects? Array of object, right? So here I have John, and his age is, and I have another object, name is Peter. So for printing it, I can pretty much use the same way here. So instead of array, I can say array of object, and val, I already have an age, so I'm just going to use key age, and then name here, right? And I can have the John and Peter, perfectly fine. Well, actually I should be using different ages. I use 10, that's why it's giving me an error. All right, so error went away. Now let's see how we can type check this. So here I have an array of object. First of all, it's an array, right? So without doubt, it should be PropType dot array of. And what is the array of? So again, PropTypes, and it has another object called shape, and we need to define the shape here. And so the shape is, it has a name property, which is PropTypes string, and it has age property, which is PropTypes number. Okay, so this should satisfy it. All right, no errors. But let's say instead of string, if I do boolean here, then it should fail. It says type strings apply to expected boolean. Okay. All right. What else? What if I have this test, but I don't have any children here? So let's have some children and have a closing tag. So here I can have, okay, here I can say children, and it's PropTypes string, and here we can do the same thing, h1 tag props dot children. Okay, so it should work. But what if I want an element as a children, right? So instead of string children, what if I have a div tag, and inside I have a children or child, let's say. So in this case, it would fail because it's expecting element and it's getting string. So we can actually fix it here by saying that's an element. The error should go away. However, what if I have multiple? Instead of one child, if I have two children, then it should give an error. I can also required. So if I just remove it all together and put here is required, then it gives you an error that it's required, but it's undefined. Now you can use required for any of these fields, so that anytime you don't supply a prop, it should give you a warning. All right, so that's about it. I think there are a little bit more, but I think you can figure out yourself. It's pretty simple. So next tutorial, what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at flow, and then the tutorial after, we're gonna look at how to use TypeScript with React. And I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and provide a nice comment. And you can help the channel via Patreon, or you can translate this video for me. I'll provide information in the description. And thank you.